I think you should be able to make copies. I think the technology is there. What if it's a CD? What if it's my music that I composed and I put it on? I put it onto a CD. I put it in my hard drive. Why shouldn't I be able to make a lot of copies and not have a record label, for example, of some small artist who's burning his own CDs and selling them at his shows? Now, if it's someone else's CD, that gets to the interesting question that people in copyright face. And just normal people face. Can't I burn a copy of this CD and give it to a friend? Can I loan my CD if my friend says he's not going to burn a copy? What if he says, I am going to burn a copy, I'm loaning it to you? Is that legal? Do normal citizens have to know the answer to those legal questions? Or is that just a question of ethics? Okay, if you look, a literal reading of the law says that, you cannot, that someone who owns the copyright has exclusive rights and can exclude others from doing these things, from making copies. So according to one reading of the law, I can say, well, you can't do it. But realistically, why wouldn't that be a fair use to make one copy, an archival copy, a backup copy? Like I want to keep one in this house and one in my university office, or I have 2 residences and a university office. Why can't I have 3 copies? I would read the law to say I can, and I would happily go do that. Now, taking my iPod instead and moving my iPod might be a way around having to make copies and loaning my iPod. Could I give an MP3, make a copy of my MP3 and give it to someone? Of course you can. If the law says you can't, I think the law has got a problem because it's going to be violated because it can be. And it doesn't, most people don't perceive that they're breaking a law by making a copy of their favorite songs and giving it to a friend as a birthday present, a Christmas present or something, just as a gift, like, I want you to hear this stuff, I made you a copy. It seems like if you took 15 songs from 15 different CDs, actually a student did this for me the other day. She said something like, I don't have an oven in my dorm, and I want to thank you for, I'd given her time for an interview. And she's very nice, and she gives me, because she can't bake me cookies, she bakes me a CD. Yeah. And it's got like 19 songs from 19 different CDs. And I accepted, said, thank you very much. I didn't go ahead and say, you shouldn't do this. Well, she shouldn't, if she could cook for me, she probably shouldn't cook for me because how much is she going to cook for me? It might be bad for my health. Mm-hmm. But is this bad for the law? Is this bad for the music industry? What she's doing is making an unauthorized copy, or 19 songs from 19 CDs, and giving them to me, and I'm not going to go, hawk them or something. I'm not going to upload them. I'm not going to fool on a peer-to-peer network. I'm going to learn from music and accept the gift in the nice way it was intended. I'm going to learn more about music. I'm better off for it. Some of the stuff is already very interesting. I'll probably go purchase some of the music of certain artists. I haven't even heard the whole CD yet. I see the good in that, but is that a violation of the law? Yeah, it probably is. Mm-hmm. But is it worth, copyright, it's hard to respect copyright sometimes when copyright owners can be like thugs and be kind of, vicious and nasty towards people. When it's a $150,000 fine for downloading one song from the internet. If you're on a peer-to-peer network and you download 10 songs, and those are 10 conscious, intentional violations of copyright, that can be $150,000 per song, which means those 10 songs cost you $1.5 million. You can't find normal human beings who think downloading 10 songs should cost you $1.5 million when, okay, paid the 10, or let's really punish you. Pay you $2 per song for being a lawbreaker. How about fining you $10? And then, so it should be maybe $20 fine. It shouldn't be $1.5 million. So copyright, it can be confusing enough. It can be extremely antiquated and absurd, the fact I can't copy stuff. Copyright owners can also, if I can just get into this one little beef I have with professional sports, I know professional sports, I know those events are copyrightable events. I know they're sort of works of authorship, or whatever you want to call them. They do fall under the guise of the Copyright Act. It's copyrightable stuff. So it's at the end of every baseball game, football game, basketball game. I'll quote baseball. I know how this goes. I've heard it every time there's a ninth inning. Any account of the events of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Okay, any account of the events of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball. It doesn't say any written account, broadcast account, selling account. It says any account. That means me calling my mother. My mother lives in Boston. She can always see the Red Sox on television. And I can't. I just have to kind of show you this, I think. Boston Red Sox, we won the World Series last night. I very much know what that statement from Major League Baseball, I know they're the copyright owners. I have it memorized. I've heard it hundreds and, no, thousands of times in my life. I understand it. And I will not respect the copyright owners on this. I want many accounts of this game. I'm not going to ask for Major League Baseball's permission to talk to my mother. I'm going to try to entice her to violate the Federal Copyright Act because I want to know about the game. And I'm going to keep doing this till the day I die. I'm going to encourage other people to violate the Copyright Act because there's sports going on. And we need to know what happened in this game. I'm on my cell phone. I'm hiking in the woods. I want to know are we ahead in the third quarter? How's Brady doing? Has Randy Moss made 2 touchdown catches today or 1? You know, when copyright owners start to make preposterous claims, and you know, these are lawyers writing this up, they didn't have to use the words any account. They could have said, you know, they could have thrown in a couple phrases to tone this down. For commercial purposes are prohibited. But they say these kinds of foolish claims, and other copyright owners make other similar foolish claims. Then we, the public, say they can't mean it, or we don't respect it. It goes against our sense of ethics and right and wrong, and we're going to go violate the law. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons you should violate the copyright law. There's one. If you send an email, someone sent you a funny joke and you send it on, maybe it's more than a joke, maybe it's a paragraph of something. If you forward that email on, you violated the Copyright Act. You know, there's all kinds of ways you can violate a Copyright Act, but some of the things are just not serious. And some of the claims and what the copyright owners want from you are absurd and need to be ignored. And I think it would also fall under fair use as well.